Good afternoon, everybody, live from Serpico Stadium on the campus of West Chester University. This is WCU Athletics Chunk Talk. I am your host, Jim Zuhlke. We have with us today head men's basketball coach Damien Blair, the head football coach Bill Zwaan, and the head baseball coach Prachniak. Guys, thanks for coming out on this hot day. Sorry to drag you out on a day that's over 90. But,
gives us something to do. Right. Got me out of the house, thank God.
I'm a little upset I didn't bring my sunglasses out.
WCU Athletics Chalk Talk is presented by Citadel. So, gentlemen, the first question will be kind of what Coach Zwaan alluded to. We'll start with you, Coach Blair. What have you been doing to keep busy, and what has been filling your time here since March?
I've been doing absolutely nothing, and that's what the problem is. My kids have been driving me nuts, but it's been good just having some family time, and I had a huge honey to-do list. I've definitely changed 3 different rooms within our house, so if we have to sell it, I think we'll get a decent price. But other than that, just been doing things around the house, trying to stay busy and trying to remain sane.
Coach Zwaan, how about you? How do you pass the time?
Well, initially at the end of spring, we did a bunch of meetings with our kids, and both from a technical standpoint and then just kind of seeing where they are and academically where they are and everything. Then once the summer hits, we really can't have those kind of meetings. So the first 3 weeks, we cleaned everything out of the house, thinking, we probably only got 3 or 4 weeks of this. Now we don't have any other rooms to clean. Then luckily my daughter moved up. She's moving up from Baltimore, so they sold their house down there, and they stayed with us until they made settlement. They actually just made settlement this weekend. So my granddaughter was in the house with us, so that kept us busy, and that was a lot of fun. So actually I'm just driving my wife crazy. That's my number one job right now.
Coach also told us he read 20 books.
I have. I've read 20 books
as well.
And because I can't watch TV, there's no Phillies games to watch. There's no Flyers or anything. And I don't want to watch the news, so I'm reading a lot, which is, really scary for me, actually.
Coach Prachniak, I know your springs are usually very busy.
Sure.
This one was much different.
Sure. On a personal level, keeping us busy. We have a 2-year-old at home, so that's consumed a good amount of our time. That's been one of the positives. Is spent a lot of time with her. Her second birthday was in March. And again, as Coach Zwaan mentioned, we thought it might have been a month-long thing, but we're pushing 3-4 months now. So it's been good, but obviously not the ideal situation for any of us. And then the spring, the one quirky thing is this is usually our busiest time is season, postseason, hopefully into recruiting, and it's been the opposite of that. Where we're still in contact with the team, but obviously it's much different. Not ideal, but we're making it work baseball-wise, and personally, been able to see some family, which has been good, but it's not the ideal circumstances for any of us, for sure.
So, sticking with you, Coach Prachniak, how has recruiting been? What kind of challenges does COVID-19 and the time off present?
Sure. Even roster assessment for next year, we still have a couple of guys that are up in the air about if they're coming back for a 5th or maybe a 6th year. So obviously there's a trickle down to that of what our needs are for this year coming up. And then even in the future where guys get that year back. So we might have thought we had a need at a certain position, but essentially we're a year further away from that. So some of those things we still need to assess. And then specific to this, I think the one positive is we're in a technology age where we can evaluate pretty well. And there's some good events being put together with really good streaming and good video, and they're putting out some metrics so you can kind of evaluate how hard somebody's throwing, what their speed is. So some of that stuff is helpful, but obviously it's not ideal as opposed to seeing them in live in person.
Coach Zwaan, how about you? No Valor Bowl and some of those spring All-Star games to kind of evaluate some talent.
Yeah, but those All-Star games are for seniors, and we've already recruited for that particular year. It doesn't have that big an effect on us because we do recruiting in the spring, but until the Delawares and Villanovas make decisions, a lot of kids think they're going there until they get a scholarship offer of some sort. So we usually wait till the fall to let that kind of funnel down to us. The problem's going to be if they don't have a fall season, because you can evaluate kids in their junior year, but a lot of kids in high school between junior and senior year become completely different players. So if they don't have that senior year to kind of put together, we might not be able to get a good evaluation of them. But that means that Delaware and Villanova can't get a good evaluation of them, so they may fall to us. So it could be a positive. The nice thing is that we don't have many seniors, so we don't have to bring in a big recruiting class to replace them. So if there's a year to have a down recruiting year, we could live with it this year. But hopefully we'll still be able to get a decent recruiting class out of this. We should be.
Video evaluation is not as good as seeing someone live and in person going up against a kid that was a potential Division I player or a kid that may be playing in our league. So giving me an opportunity to eyeball a kid and then bringing that individual up on campus and seeing if he's a good fit for our community is huge for us. So the Zoom calls are good, but the face-to-face contact is I think, the difference maker. And losing this time period where we go out and do our recruiting and bring kids up in the fall definitely is going to set us down.
And not having camps is hurting us a little bit too. You can bring a kid on campus and run a camp and really take a look at it. So you have kids who might be a little bit undersized, or they might be, or they tell you their speed is this, and then you time them and you say, okay, he's not quite running
I
as
thought he was
fast
going to
as
be.
Maybe
So-
he's just having a bad day.
Yeah, and a lot of times the camps you can either a kid jumps or he falls in. So not having that helps.
Coach Zwaan, sticking with you, how with the uncertainty of the fall season, I guess how frustrating is it for you to get ready, or how do you approach it?
Well, you just have to approach it positively. I mean, to me, I'm telling every one of our kids, we're playing. Expect to show up on time. Expect to play the season. Be ready. That's the only way we can approach it. Okay, so we can't have it, hey, maybe, or we're approaching it like we're going to be here on August 9th when we're allowed to come, and we're going to start practice August 10th, and we're going to start playing in the second week of September. I think that's the only way you can approach it right now. Now, obviously, things are going to probably change or be solidified over the next couple of weeks, I think, and that'll tell us one way or the other what we're going to do. But right now, the approach is all positive.
Coach Blair, different question for you. What or how do you think COVID-19 has changed the landscape of college athletics, and do you think that it's changed forever, or do you think once there's a vaccine, things will slowly get back to what we once knew?
Well, it's drastically changed athletics because we're sitting here doing nothing. And I can't wait until it gets back to normal. But what the new normal is, I don't know. I think everyone's going to take extra precaution now when it comes to making sure that you wash your hands and that a facility is properly prepared for the kids to come in and play. So I don't think are going to drastically change, but there's going to have to be some change because from what I'm researching here, we're always going to have some form of a pandemic or an issue like this. Is how we deal with it and how fast we can recover from it so we can get back in.
So to put you on the spot,
Oh God!
not that you're Adam Silver, but
Yeah.
do you think sports like the NBA and the NHL, do you think it's important for them to come back in the summer, or do you think it would be better for them to stay healthy and just go with a new season?
For us, I think it's important that they come back because they have the resources to put things in place to make sure the environment is safe, and then that's something that we can learn from. If there's some mistakes that were made, we can make adjustments. At this level, we don't have the resources to be able to test our student athletes every single day. They have those resources. So I think they can put the blueprint together, and then we can try to figure out what works for us from success that they have.
Coach Zwaan, from an NFL standpoint, the NFL seems to think they can get it going and they can come back to camp. Kind of building off what Coach Blair said, do you think it's important for the NFL to be able to figure that out and some semblance of professional sports to come back? to help the college?
Well,
game?
I think it's important for the sanity of the country to a certain extent that they have something they can watch on TV. Me in particular, but
Running out of books to read.
running out of books. but exactly what Damien was saying, they've got the resources. That's the point. I mean, they can protect their guys. They can figure out a way. This is the right way to do it. These are things where we made a mistake, so that for us to follow that, we'll have a blueprint to a certain extent, which will help us. I remember when Magic Johnson got AIDS. Okay, so I'm old enough to remember exactly where I was when I heard that. So we went through all of that HIV epidemic with sports, and you think about, okay, what has carried over since then? So if somebody gets a cut, you immediately react to that. They have to come out of the game. They have to be covered up. So there are things that happen from that still carry over to today. So my assumption is there's things that are going to happen from COVID. They're going to carry over for the time after that. But we're going to learn all those things. And what's really important was to make sure there was no blood contact. So they figured that piece out. And we're going to learn what's really important with COVID, and we'll figure that piece out. And everything else will go back to normal except for those one or two things that we're going to have to pay attention to.
And Coach Prachniak, is it talking about the sanity? Are you excited that baseball might be back in this summer with the guys now coming back?
Yeah, I mean, sure, it'd be great to be able to just turn on and watch a Phillies game or watch an alum play in a major league game. It'd be awesome.
This was a question submitted by Ashley from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So excuse me while I read my phone. They're in the sunlight here, but how often have you been able to communicate with your teams? Has the new technological age changed any coaching or communication techniques?
Well, we were able to communicate with them through the semester. So once the semester ended, then we were limited on what we could do at that point. I've had a couple of team meetings with them just informationally since then. So we have been able to do that through Zoom. But I have to tell you, I told these guys earlier, I hate Zoom. I hate it. I had enough of Zoom, okay? The first couple of weeks was kind of fun. I don't want to do another Zoom meeting in my life.
Zoom overload.
But unfortunately, I feel like we're going to still be doing that for a while. But yeah, with all the technology nowadays, you can at least talk to them and you can see them while you're talking to them. But it's not the same. We all know that. We as coaches are so hands-on with our kids. It's really hard to feel like you're comfortable in that situation. But it's what we got to do, so we do it.
So the next question will be for you, Coach Zwaan, from Jackson in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Would you be in favor of a season that would start, say, in October if they had to, or even if they pushed it to the spring? Or do you think that would be kind of stepping on the toes of the winter and the spring sports, and would the schools be able to figure that out?
Okay, so I'm going to bang, bang, bang. Yes, I would be in favor of any season starting in October or in the spring. I feel like we need it as coaches, and I think our kids need it. I know that there'll be a big adjustments. If we do move to spring, we'll have to make adjustments. But the truth is, I really don't care about the winter or the spring.
And I was just about to say that.
As long as
I knew that's what he was
we
thinking.
play, I'll be fine with that. I'm sure that
We start in the middle of our season.
they'll learn how to figure it out. But truthfully, I'm hoping we play one way or the other. Okay, and if that means less basketball and less baseball, that's the way it goes.
Before Coach got there, we were trying to figure out a way to cancel the fall and just make sure baseball and basketball played. So we know where he stands.
Coach, how about you? What if they said you had to start a season, but you had to start in April, and we would play into June, maybe even a little bit of July if you got back to the College World Series?
Sure. I mean, you can make a case it's a better baseball season. Like weather-wise, if we could play at home right out of the gate, you can make a case that naturally would just fit our sport better. So like I would be all in favor for that. And you understand there might be adjustments that have to be made if the season gets pushed back a month or two. That would be the least of my worries. We'd be totally fine with that.
So, not to put you guys on the spot, but you will.
But you will anyway, right?
That's my job. That's the whole thing.
Put you on the spot. Go ahead.
Let them answer first.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we'll start down there in baseball. Do you think there will be college athletics in the fall?
It's a tough, tough for me to make that. Obviously there's a lot that goes into that. Are there ways that it could be done? I would say yes. Are there some things you have to acknowledge to do it? Yes. Are people willing to do that? I'm not sure. So that's the kind of the short of it. And I know things are evolving and all that stuff, but it's curious how the next few weeks play out.
So I would say that the Division I level, I think, will have college athletics. I think one of the most important things in this is keeping the players safe and making the parents feel like their players are safe, their kids are safe.
All right, final question. and then then you're off the hot seat. I feel like
I'm sweating.
I
feel like you just stuck me in an oven.
What does the next few weeks mean for college athletics and even in particular sports on college level at Westchester?
Oh, what does it
mean for like college athletics, but athletics here at Westchester?
I heard someone say this before. Athletics front porch. We have a lot of great departments that do a lot of great things across campus, and athletics is one of them. So, if there's any way that we can get back to playing in the fall, I think that's definitely a good thing. But as these guys said, we got to make sure that the kids are safe, and we have the resources to be able to do that. So, I'm optimistic that we can find a way. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and toes crossed. But during the fall, I'm just a fan. If they don't play, I don't care. If they want to push our season back a little bit, I'm fine with that.
As long as you can do suicides.
Exactly. Well, if we can do some suicides and individual workouts, I'm good.
I think originally they were talking about July 1st being the date they were going to make a decision. Now I think it's July 15th. So I think the presidents are kind of either giving themselves a little bit more time or as much time as possible to make the best decision, which you hope to say, okay, as things open up, does that make things better or worse? So I'm hoping that it makes things better and we can lean towards having a season. When you see the numbers go up in different states and everything, it makes you nervous. And of course, that's making our presidents nervous, which you completely understand. But, hey, it'll be tough. Like I've said at the beginning of this, I'm much more likely to be killed in my sleep by my wife than get coronavirus. If I'm stuck in the house with my wife, she's definitely killing me. So,
you do know this is being taken. I'm just going to get back to her.
She knows. She's already planning this out. So I'm hoping that we have a season so I can at least get out of the house on a regular basis. Because I know I'm driving her crazy.
Coach, is Kelly driving you crazy?
Yeah, we're not at that level. We're not. Luckily, it's only been a handful of years. We're not at that level. We could have Corona for 20 more years. We figure it out. Phil, if you need a bedroom, we can. I think obviously what we do is coach. We coach college sports, so we miss it. That's essentially we're here because we love doing it. So we all miss it. We're all wired to do that. I think we all want to get back to that as soon as possible. And obviously, safety's in there, so we're not looking reckless with it. But as soon as there's a window, we can pull this off. I think student athletes and coaches, they're itching to go. I think that's what everyone wants to do, is be back on the field somewhere.
All right, Coach Blair, Coach Zwaan, Coach Prachniak, thank you very much for this series of WCU Chalk Talk. I am your host, Jim Zuhlke. We will be back probably next week with another set of coaches. We will kind of work our way through the coaching staff with this series because, as you heard from these three, our coaching staff would like to have something to do this season. Thank you all for attending. Good night.